Alright, I got a Bobcat, a Clark 632, about a 1980. I'm gonna make this video because I couldn't find anything out on the everybody kept saying the port block to pump O-rings would go bad. So I wanted to make a video because I couldn't find anything. Here is the pump. As you can see, yours will have the port block on top of the big nut and then a bolt that goes right here. And you don't want any dirt in there. This is cleaned off already. You can see my fluid still got air in it. Even it kept sucking air and pumping air throughout the system, and you could hear it just shotting around, spitting and popping, jerking. The pump didn't want to, it was acting like it had air in the system. Even when you turn it off, you could turn it off with the bucket up, and you shut it off. You could let the bucket down, and you could hear it pumping air back into the tank. So I knew it had air in it. I took off the filter as well, and there was even air inside the filter after running it for a few hours. And I thought, well, that's not right. Bobcat said that the self-bleeding system, yada yada. It's a closed system on the older ones. So I looked at the schematic on the schematics that are in the service manuals, and this is one of the early systems. It's a closed loop, so it doesn't have a special return line to bleed air out for you. There's 3 lines that go to it. The first line goes back to your filter. Second line is, I believe, your return from somewhere. Yeah, your return right here. Then your third line is your return from your block back there. That's the control bucket. Over here we have the port block, and this is a internal nut. So inside of your big nut is an internal nut, and the internal nut actually has 2 O-rings, not 1. The schematic just shows 1. And the O-rings are, I got them from True Par, and there's the O-ring right there. And 1 O-ring each goes on each side of this washer, and this washer goes on here with an O-ring on each side to keep the air out of that internal nut. Then the external nut also has, the big nut also has 1 smaller washer. All right, well, not washer, O-ring, O-rings, and here's that O-ring. The schematic only showed 1 of each, so now I'm 1 O-ring short. This is what the O-rings looked like after 20 years of service. Farewell. I believe, maybe for 20 years they did a fairly decent job. That and that probably don't function as equal. Alright, there you go. 632 pump block to pump, a metering block or port block to pump O-rings replacement, because there was air in the lines continually, and it just didn't seem right. The hydraulics were jumpy. If you went to lift something, you had plenty of pressure, but it was just sporadic pressure. So it wasn't a continuous pressure. It had, it would lift 1,000 pounds, but it would do it jumpy. It wouldn't do it smooth. And it just sounded like there was air, and sure enough, those O-rings are shot.